Dearest, beloved, divine friends, family, brothers and sisters, this is In the Raw. RK's Guyana Free Media, and I'm your host, your brother, Haji Dr. Roshan Khan. I've been out for a little while. I give it a rest. But so much of calls and so much of contacts, they're missing my voices. Those of you who have been sending messages and have been missing seeing this ugly face. But I have been missing you guys to myself. And this thing has become kind of iconic in Guyana. And many people have been tuning into it on YouTube and on Facebook. RK's Guyana Free Media. And this is In the Raw. I have before me the Kaieteur news of Wednesday, December 16th. And I'm in the letter section. And I observe that Mr. Dr. Vishnu Bisram has written a very lovely piece on former President David Arthur Granger, and the topic is Granger could have set an agenda. And so, divine friends and families, I'm so disappointed that this man, the former president, would try to set and try to control the current president and the former presidents as to what should be said and what they should concentrate on, and to listen to what he's saying. And he was technically trying to hijack the entire thing, which is what we have seen of Mr. Granger, especially as it was coming to elections and when it came to the chairman of GCOM and the deputy CEO of GCOM and the HR person of GCOM, and so on and so on. We saw the kind of a personality he is, which is he must have his way. And probably this come about in the military, where the commandant of the military, the brigadier, chief of staff, is like God. So to say, my divine, beloved friends and families. Excuse me. And many things were held up because of his way, his style of interpretation. And it seems now he wants to run or instruct His Excellency President Dr. Irfan Ali as to how he should operate. I personally believe that the APNU or the PNC, and I say they're really a PNC, and a good party, a powerful party, caught in some conundrum, some confusion, so to say. And hopefully they will get themselves back on track with a proper opposition leader and head of the party. And so, friends and families, I was very disappointed that he did not attend, because you do need an opposition. You do need different perspective. And my understanding is that this idea of President Dr. Barra Jagdeo, former President Dr. Barra Jagdeo, and His Excellency Mohammed Irfan Ali, President of the Republic of Guyana, had wanted to create this semblance of communication. I asked, and I was advised that he wanted to create the semblance of communication, that they could talk, that they could share views, and they could meet on occasions and set the trend for a new, a greater, and a better Guyana. And I like this article that I've seen here. I read only a part of it, but I'll try to give you everything, and I have to miss a part, then I will miss to make it short, or I'll have to cut it in two, and then you might have two parts of it being showed possibly this evening of 16th or 17th of December. Ladies and gentlemen, Granger could have set an agenda. He could have had his own agenda on things that he hoped to achieve. You can't hope to hijack the president's meeting. He could have said very pleasantly, and if we can't do this now, as soon as possible, I'd like to ask that we discuss these items, and so on and so on. Communication, a good heart, beautiful words are things that could set and create the precedents for growth and development and the betterment of our country. Ex-President David Granger should have accepted the President's invitation to attend the Presidential Summit. It is an excellent opportunity to discuss issues the opposition feels warrants addressing. Granger could have dictated the agenda, or part thereof. He said could have dictated. I'm saying he could have at least gotten part of his agenda in, because the other presidents would have had their agenda set as well. All to pull Guyana together. But what they're doing, they say, oh, the president don't have ideas and he wants their ideas and so on. That's not the way to move. The way to move is to work together, to create the cohesive atmosphere so that we can lead in time to a national front government or shared governance. But here is evidence that unfortunately, the PNC cannot be relied upon at this time, unfortunately, for national reconciliation, national cohesion, and goodwill. Painful. The former president missed the golden opportunity to bring national healing. See? My words, I think he got it here. Transform his image and boost his favorability ratings after the failed attempt to rig the March elections. He had a great opportunity here. My commentary, ladies and gentlemen. As a political scientist, I learned that the office of presidency, whether in America or Guyana or any country, transcends any one individual, and one must respect the office and be willing to go the extraordinary measure to make the office and country better. One must not show partisanship and be willing to embrace all regardless of party. President Ali has done exactly that. Took the initiative to bring all ex-presidents together for support and advice on building a better nation, regardless of party affiliation. Dr. Vishnu Bisram is saying, regardless of party affiliation, all political leaders, presidents must at times be willing to work or come together for the well-being of the nation. Except for this last president, or the one who is still holding in the United States of America, the presidents have always been communicating and meeting for the good of America and the people of the United States of America. Why can't we? And this initiative by President Dr. Irfan Ali is an extraordinary one. Beloved divine friends and families. It is an act of patriotism showing that one cares about country more than party and politics. But there's hardly any reciprocity from the opposing side to Ali's invitation, and that does not augur well for the future. Relations between government and opposition have been strained as a result of the publicly attempted rigging of the election amongst over 200 observers internationally and locally, ladies and gentlemen, for my commentary on the rigging of the election. This consultation or presidential summit would have narrowed resentment and bridged the gap between the two opposing sides. Well said, Dr. Vishnu Bisram. A lot of goodwill would have flowed from this extraordinary summit. A fantastic photo opportunity was missed that brings former and current political leaders together, a rare occurrence, a showcase for the nation on working together for national reconciliation and development. Unfortunately, the handlers or his advisors, the advisors of former President David Arthur Granger, missed the ball, missed the message. My understanding is that because when he had asked, I get information, ladies and gentlemen, very deep information. When he had asked to meet with President Jack Deo during the final court case that was taking place, and it was known that everything would have been exposed and the APNU would have been out, he asked for a meeting. But it's not the same thing. He had asked for a meeting while the court case was going on in order to try to get some power, to hold on to some vestige, a coattail of power, raw, hungry, huggish power. I mean, everybody with any sense or modicum of intellect would comprehend this, would know that what he wanted, and that was not the right time anymore. You needed to have the court provide its edict to the nation and to the world. So it's not the same thing. Here is a chance to create the ambience, the atmosphere for national cohesion one day, which is my dream. Friends and families, ladies and gentlemen, that we will climb the high plateau, the towering, gigantic trees of the Amazon, and we will look at the horizons, and we will see unity, goodwill and love in harmony with our peoples. Peace and respect. What a joyful thing to think of, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the article. Mr. Granger could have helped to end the political acrimony. Those who don't understand the feastiness, the fightingness, the bitterness, the confusion that followed the APNU and AFC defeat and unite the nation as it goes into the holiday season would have been a great holiday gift to the entire population. The excuse of a lack of an agenda for declining an invitation to meet with President Ali and other ex-presidents is described as lame and not accepted by a large majority of the population. The population feels Mr. Granger could have showed up and dictated terms, his agenda, for the gathering of the ex-president's ex and current president. He could have come with a few assistants, including the opposition leader, and insist that they be present for and partake in the proceedings. It is doubtful President Ali or any ex-president would have objected. But to me, that would have shown who is truly the leader, or strong enough to be the leader of the APNU. If he couldn't have come alone and he had to walk with tails, then it would have looked bad, to my opinion, and this is my commentary, ladies and gentlemen. It would have been an opportunity for constructive conversation and fellowship. It would have been an opportunity to transform the bad blood politics of the country and contribute to the institutionalization of democracy. Generally, ex-presidents meet at funerals, gala events, Republic or Independence Days, Indian High Commission Pagwa celebration, special functions, banquets, swearing-in ceremonies, among others. This was a unique invitation by the President Ali to meet to discuss any issue, to offer advice to the President, to discuss policies. He values their experience, advice, and recommendations. That's why he did it. President Dr. Irfan Ali needs an applause. Wherever you are, let's give the man an applause for this initiative, ladies and gentlemen, friends and families. The ex-presidents could have asked for or set one or suggest what they would like to discuss. Ali would have found himself in a bind to discuss it. Well, that's what Granger should have done. He wanted to discuss this, this, and this, in addition to what the president and the others want to discuss, but this is what he would like to discuss. The president would have, for an open discussion known as no holds barred. So it could have been an open discussion, no holds barred. Just let's do it. The president left the agenda open for an open discussion known as no holds barred, say in political science. An incomplete discussion would have led to follow-up meetings, and it would have created that. So they would meet again and meet again. Then President Granger and other ex-presidents would have had justification to assail him for the breach. Unless he had called those meetings, he could get a serious correction. Friends and families, ladies and gentlemen. The language of the ex-president and opposition leader in their responses to the invitation was not warm. It's not good for the future. The writer is saying the opposition leader was disagreeing why they want to have, he thinks they want to pick their brains. I mean, what a petty, petty gentleman the opposition leader has to be to think of this. It is a sad state indeed. Granger finds himself the odd man out, at least in terms of popularity. Supporters of both political parties, interviewed by poll workers, as well as my own personal conversations with people, suggest that more than 3/4 of the public thinks Granger should have accepted the invitation. I agree with that. Everyone I said he should have, but he didn't do it because the opposition leader previously didn't see him when he was hoping to discuss power. It's not the same thing. Granger should have accepted the invitation. Few opposed the meeting, while some supporters of APNU prefer not to give an opinion. Had Granger consulted with the party clique, he would have gotten their perspective on why he should have attended the party. The parley, not the party, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, this is in the raw. The parley. Parler, parlez-vous, is français. Parler, therefore, is a word Englishized that came from parlez-vous, parlez-moi, which means to chat, to talk, to speak, for a parley. A majority of APNU supporters are in favor of the meeting. I agree with that. Almost everyone praised President Ali for the initiative of parleying with ex-President Singh. He demonstrates class and willingness to work with the opponents. Ali feels confident in meeting with and working with ex-presidents regardless of party affiliation. The man is a Muslim. One of the things I want to tell former President Granger, and the opposition leader and others, is that Muslims have a different heart. They might be, yes, political leaders and so on. You might have your strong viewpoints and so on, but Muslims have a different heart in communication and love for humanity. The public ranting of President Ali's leadership skills has been soaring. The public, I beg your pardon, ladies and gentlemen, in the raw. The public's rating of President Ali's leadership skills has been soaring ever since he swore in on March 2nd. And this initiative of a meeting makes him look even better, classier. I would say. Demonstrating he has been able to get things done and willing to work with the opposition for the betterment of the country. So who gets negative? Who is being looked down upon around the world? We don't know. I'm not going to call any name. You tell me. You mention it now. The president should not give up on reaching to ex-President Granger and opposition leader Joe Harmon for a national dialogue. Of course, for a better Guyana. For a better Guyana. But they need a more qualified, classy, stylish personality for opposition leader of the People's National Congress, the new thing that they refer to. They need an intellectual and wise opposition leader with persona, personality, class, style, and diction. My opinion. The president should not give up, and I agree with that. And as I approach the end, ladies and gentlemen, the ex-presidents who accepted the invitation for the confab have won the support and admiration of the population. People see them differently now than when they were presidents. Donald Romatar and Sam Hines have been praised like never before. Barajak Davis usually continues to tower above the others in popularity ratings because of his charismatic leadership qualities and his vast knowledge of issues and policies. Sincerely, truly, yours, Dr. Vishnu Bisram, friends and families. I leave you to think on that, and I do think that former President David Arthur Granger made a humongous mistake. And we saw, as it came up to the election, after the election, tremendous mistakes. Friends and family, your brother, your friend me, Haji Dr. Roshan Khan, saying thank you for tuning into this, the RK's Guyana Free Media. And I say to you, farewell, friends.